Alright, we're back at the top again today here on the final stop on the road to Pokemon Sword and Shield. This is the 4th Road to series that we started, and now it ends because the games come out tonight. I don't know why I keep doing the whole fisting thing. That is a phrasing. Point being is that Pokemon Sword and Shield come out tonight at midnight. Well, 9 p.m. for me. Advantage, West Coast. We do need to touch on something that I actually had a 3-part series actually for this back in summer. We had the good and then we had the bad of Bring Back the National Dex, but we didn't have that resolution like I promised. And now that the games have been out for a bit and people have been able to data mine them, somebody actually made a huge Reddit thread about this. And I've been a little bit vocal on certain things myself. I'm not necessarily blinded by just the Pokemon name slapped on it, but at the same time, I do have a reason for liking it. So, I know I'm probably going to get hate from both sides, but hear me out. Hear me out. So we're going to pop into this right here, if I can actually click this. Because you have the complete list of problems known so far in Pokemon Sword and Shield with data and or proof of each problem. I'm not going to click on each link. I might just on a thing, but remember, there is a spoiler tag on this, so I'm not actually going to click on every link. So, for example, I'm just going to do a quick rundown. So, my opinion is, they said, I don't know if this is a mistranslation anymore, but they mentioned that they were working, they wanted to cut the decks to make, so they can put their efforts into graphics and animations. Now, some people are saying that that was a mistranslation. I'm not sure anymore. There's been too much complaining about this. However, my opinion was, if that is true and it doesn't show, then what the heck were they working on? What the heck were they working on this entire time if that was true? However, my silver lining and what makes me excited for the Dex cut is the fact that I can finally battle again without being burnt out. If you are on this channel in late 2016, early 2017, right after Sun and Moon, I was battling a ton. I liked it at first, but then it grew on me that it was basically Generation 6 New Game Plus. It wasn't fun. It was the same exact meta, except with the additions of the Ultra Beasts and the Legendaries from Sun and Moon. Not to mention Toxapex. So there were all the non-legendary favorites just tumble down the tier list, and then boom, we have such a centralizing meta around the Tapus and the Terrains and the Ultra Beasts, and it's just why. It's no wonder I got burnt out so fast. I was done by January 2017. I was done. Lights out. I was not having fun. And since then, I've only really done Draft League format, because that's the only thing that interested me, okay? So, the fact that there is a lot smaller of a dex means that the metagame will be fresh and different and not drowned out by legendaries and ultra beasts, okay? So it's going to be completely different, and that is the reason why I'm excited for these games. Now, like I said, I am not going to go easy. If the graphics suck, the graphics suck, okay? Like I said, I'm more on the fence, but leaning toward, like, I'm gonna like these games. So you can yell at me if you want, either side, actually. But, like I said, so we're gonna quickly run down this, right? The number of usable Pokemon has been cut. Only less than half are now usable, known as Dexit. Of course, I just covered that, yeah. I already covered that. The excuse GameFreak used for calling this was that let them work on more, delivering better animations and more carefully crafted games, since they don't have to put more time and effort into redoing the models. Like I said, I don't actually know anymore if that's the correct translation. It's a little bit interesting if that is the case. Just like the Pokemon cut, about 144 moves were removed, 99 moves including the Let's Go and other outlier moves. This includes extremely important and mainstay moves like Hidden Power, Return, Frustration, and Pursuit. That's a bit disappointing, especially with Hidden Power, because Hidden Power was pretty much your go-to if you wanted coverage. Short game, the first streamer beat the champion around the 14-hour mark. That's only because he skipped a lot of the trainers. Now, what I'm hearing is he skipped a lot of the trainers because he was super over leveled. Similar to X and Y's issue, because the EXP share is baked in the game. You can't turn it off. The graphics are extremely mediocre. It constantly looks worse and less polished than Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. The textures are often inexcusable. Here are some examples I'm going to pop on screen. You can't even see them. Actually, this is better. Yeah, I mean, seeing screenshots, honestly, like, I honestly won't have my main opinion until I actually am playing the game, because screenshots are one thing. Like, I don't, myself, I'm not seeing it live. It's just somebody else taking a screenshot. So until I see it live and in person on my own copy, I'm not going to say on that. There's constant graphical issues, not just low-quality graphics. Pop-in is present at all points in the game due to bad coding. I believe there is a streamable thing here. Yep, you can see it right there, how it just pops in like that. That's a little bit nitpicky. Sure, it's not necessarily bad coding, but if the performance would take a hit if it had to render all of those, now obviously it's the Switch. You want to have that. So I'm not necessarily giving the benefit of the doubt. Animations are one of the main reasons why GameFreak cut Pokemon, at least in the interviews, are as shoddy as ever. I remember... oh yeah, so a lot of a lot of these are just showing like the Howl one right here. Another example found here. But a lot of things, like for example, you have people like walking, turning, and then walking again. It's the same. I think I saw a GIF of Zamazenta and Zacian doing the same thing. Now that is a little disappointing in itself, because that is so Generation 6. That's been going on since Generation 6. I'm not sure why they're coded into a grid like that. I don't know why, but that's something that I'm going to harp on, because if it looks like it came from straight out of the 3DS for animations, what is the point? What is the point? Post-game is almost non-existent, as usual, since Omori started directing. There's no Frontier. There's also no Frontier-like facility. There is a battle tower, I believe, but I'm not necessarily in it for the post-game content in terms of, like, in-game post-game content. You know I'm gonna battle. You know I'm going to stream a lot with this game, you know, with everybody who wants to join in. I've got some nice ideas cooking in the oven for that. Thanks, Rodon. You're a good oven. Problems with the game design and behavior beyond difficulty and progression. There's other problems overall game design. Example of this is not being able to catch Pokemon in the wild areas until you get a badge allowing you to do so, which usually covers your current level. They did that before with HMs. So the thing that it's massively different, because with HMs you couldn't go a certain place, but you can't catch a Pokemon in a certain place in the wild area. So I mean, sure, it's lame, but at least you can progress through the game. Remove past features with virtually no new additions. Seems like this is a mainstay in Pokemon, removing older features so they become one-of-a-time gimmicks. But unlike earlier titles, this new game doesn't add anything new except Dynamaxing, which is limited to gyms only. Now, Dynamaxing, of course, I don't have a full opinion on it because I haven't used it myself. I'm not going to take face value of what other people say until I see it for myself. Realistically, I believe that it's just a combination of Megas and Z moves. I hated Z moves, so I don't think I'm going to like Dynamaxing too much. And according to Kelly, aka Under the Radar, he actually thinks that it should be banned in Draft League format. So it might be that overpowered. No GTS. That's actually interesting. But that just means that you won't put your level 5 Wooloo looking for a level 85 Zacian, okay? Sure, not many people abuse that, but it's still the whole reason for it. A $20 price increase for less content than earlier 3DS games. I'm not going to put an opinion on that. I mean, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee were the same price, so more than likely they were going to keep it the same price, since that's how much LGPE costed. Game-breaking bugs. There's now a report that the game is freezing and crashing. Evidence shown here. This is captured through a Switch, not emulated. The overall lack of quality, polish, and effort put into this game. This is all the somewhat minor, but still very telling problems with the game. Once again, this is one of those things where I'll find out once I run into them, if they still exist, if they do exist, but it's going to be one where I have to see it for myself versus taking it at face value. So, honestly, like I said, Those are just my opinions of all the things that the community has gathered, okay? I'm gonna be disappointed if nothing really is improved from Generation 7. I know the graphics in the battles are actually pretty stellar, and honestly, that's what I'm here for. Like I said before, sure, I'm disappointed that a lot of Pokemon are missing to help the graphics and then the animations, but if they weren't actually willing to do that and left them in the Gen 7 state, what the heck were they doing it for? But hey, what do I know? Like I said, I'll actually have my own review about it at the beginning of December. It'll be the good and the bad of Pokemon Sword and Shield. I do with every single new Pokemon release, so you'll know my full opinion very well when that happens. That will actually wrap up this final week on the road to Pokemon Sword and Shield. If you did enjoy this long journey, all 40 weeks, go ahead and show your love on the like button by dropping a like from the top. And then if you want to subscribe for anything related to Pokemon Sword and Shield, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you never miss out on all the content that we do on this channel. With that though, I want to thank you for watching, and I'll get to you back at the top later on, because that is how we do it.